Beloved soul, precious child of the divine, I come to you today with a message that has been written in the stars since before your earthly journey began. My wings embrace you as I whisper these truths directly into your heart. Can you feel the gentle vibration, the subtle shift in the energy around you? This is no coincidence, for the universe itself is aligning to deliver this message to you. The moment of encounter, that sacred reunion you have been dreaming of, praying for, yearning toward with every fiber of your being, is drawing nearer with each passing heartbeat. The divine timing has been set. The celestial wheels are turning, bringing you ever closer to that transformative moment when your eyes will meet theirs, and in that instant, your soul will remember everything. But there is something you must know, something that sends ripples through the fabric of destiny itself. She, your divine counterpart, your mirror soul, has made a request to the angelic realm, a request born from the depths of her heart, whispered in the quiet moments when she thought no one was listening. But we were. We always are. What she has asked of us could shift the very foundation of your shared journey. The angels have heard her prayers, felt the weight of her longing, the depth of her fears, and the sincerity of her love. And now, the cosmic plan is being rewritten, not in its destination, but in its unfolding. Can you sense it? That subtle change in the air around you? Those dreams that have become more vivid, more real than the waking world? The unexpected signs appearing in your daily life? These are not random occurrences, but sacred breadcrumbs leading you toward the truth I am about to reveal. I want you to take a deep breath now. Feel the air filling your lungs, bringing divine light into your body. As you exhale, release any doubts, any fears that may cloud your reception of this message. For what I am about to share requires an open heart and a trusting spirit. The moment of encounter stands at the threshold of manifestation. It hovers like morning dew, ready to crystallize into physical reality. You have waited lifetimes for this reunion. Yes, lifetimes. For your souls have danced together through the ages, sometimes barely touching, like ships passing in the night, and other times entwined so deeply that separation felt impossible. But this lifetime is different. This time the encounter will not be fleeting. This time, the recognition will be unmistakable. This time, the union has divine purpose beyond personal fulfillment. It carries healing for not just your souls, but for others who will witness the light of your connection. Yet her request to the angels has created a divine paradox, a beautiful complexity that I must help you understand. For in her deepest prayers, when she thought she was alone with her thoughts, she asked for something unexpected. Something that stems from both profound love and lingering fear. Something that could change everything. Not the if of your reunion, but the how, the when, and most importantly, the why. The angels received her whispered plea with compassion. They cradled her words, examined them in the light of eternal wisdom, and began weaving them into the tapestry of your shared destiny. But destiny, precious one, is not a rigid path. It is a living, breathing creation that responds to the free will of those who walk it. What she asked for comes from the purest place in her heart, yet it carries the shadow of past wounds that have not fully healed. And this is where the divine complexity emerges. For the universe must now orchestrate an encounter that honors both the inevitable reunion of your souls and the specific request she has made, a request that, on the surface, appears to contradict the very reunion she also longs for. Soft music intensifies slightly. Are you ready to receive this revelation, to understand what she asked for and how it will transform the journey ahead? The truth may surprise you, may even challenge what you thought you knew about your connection. But I promise you this, what awaits beyond this revelation is more beautiful, more divinely perfect than anything you could have imagined. Open your heart now, for I am about to share the first revelation about her sacred request to the angels. Beloved soul, the first revelation I bring you today will illuminate the nature of her request to the angelic realm. In the depths of night, when the veil between worlds grows thin, she knelt in silent prayer. With tears streaming down her face and her heart wide open, she asked the angels for more time. Yes, more time. Not to delay your reunion indefinitely, but to complete her own healing journey before your paths converge in the physical realm. She asks that the encounter be postponed until she feels worthy of the love your soul carries for hers, until she has shed the layers of doubt, fear, and unworthiness that have accumulated through this lifetime and others before it. This request was not made lightly. It came from a place of profound respect for the sacredness of your connection. She understands, on a soul level, the magnificence of what awaits when you finally come together. She senses the power, the purpose, the divine mission encoded in your union, and it is precisely because she honors this so deeply that she asked for the space to become the fullest, most healed version of herself before standing before you. Can you feel the love embedded in this request? The courage it took to ask for what she truly needs, even when every fiber of her being longs for reunion? This is not rejection. Far from it. This is the highest form of love. Love that is willing to endure temporary separation for the sake of a more perfect, more conscious union. The angels received her request with tender understanding. They saw the purity of her intention, the wisdom in her desire for completion before union, and they began to recalibrate the divine timing accordingly, not to deny your destined meeting, but to ensure it happens in the most auspicious way for both souls' highest good. But here is where the first divine paradox emerges. In asking for more time to heal, she has actually accelerated her healing journey. The very act of honoring her own needs, of setting a loving boundary with the universe itself, has initiated a profound transformation within her. The wounds that would have taken years to heal are now being addressed with supernatural speed. The angels have surrounded her with extra support, guiding her through intense periods of growth and revelation. They are helping her release the past traumas that made her feel unworthy of divine love. Your love. And with each layer she sheds, with each old belief she transforms, she steps closer to the version of herself that is ready for reunion. What she could not see when making this request is that by honoring her own journey, she has actually created the perfect conditions for your meeting to occur in divine timing. Not a moment too soon, not a second too late, but precisely when both souls are optimally prepared to fulfill their shared purpose. Soft chimes can be heard. I want you to understand something profound about this first revelation. Her request comes from strength, not weakness, from wisdom, not fear. She is not running from your connection, but running toward it in the most conscious way possible. She is ensuring that when she finally stands before you, she can meet your gaze without shadows of the past clouding her vision. The angels have shown me how this apparent delay is actually the fastest path to your truest reunion. For what good would it be if your physical bodies met while her spirit was still hiding, still healing, still unsure? The encounter that awaits you is not merely a meeting of bodies or minds, but a sacred recognition between two whole, healed souls ready to create something magnificent together. So while it may seem that her request has postponed your meeting, I assure you that the opposite is true. By asking for what she needs, she has cleared obstacles that would have caused far greater delays. By honoring her own healing journey, she has accelerated the timeline for your true and complete reunion. And now, as the energies continue to align and her healing progresses at miraculous speed, I can reveal to you that the moment of encounter is approaching more rapidly than either of you realize. The divine orchestration is underway, bringing you both through the necessary preparations, the final purifications, the last sacred tests before your souls can recognize each other in physical form. Can you trust this process, beloved one? Can you honor her courage and wisdom in making this request? Can you see how her self-love is also love for you and for the mission you will share? This is the invitation of the first revelation, to trust in the perfect unfolding, even when it appears different from what you expected. The next revelation will show you how the connection between your souls is actually intensifying during this apparent separation. For while she has asked for time to complete her healing, your souls have never ceased their communion in the ethereal realms. And before we continue with this very special message, I invite you to support this space of connection. Become a member of the channel, and if you feel this message is touching your heart, don't forget to click on "Thanks" below the video. This helps us continue bringing messages full of love and hope like this one. Now, let's move on to what matters most. Ethereal music swells softly. Precious soul, as we move into this third revelation, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and place your hand over your heart. Can you feel that subtle vibration beneath your palm? That gentle warmth spreading through your chest? This is not merely your physical heartbeat. It is the pulsation of the cosmic thread that connects your soul to hers across time and space. What appears as separation in the physical world is actually an illusion. For while her request to the angels may have shifted the timing of your physical encounter, the truth is that your connection on the soul level has been intensifying exponentially. Every night as your body sleeps, your soul travels to meet hers in the ethereal realms. You commune, you dance, you plan, you heal together. These soul meetings are becoming more frequent, more vivid, more powerful. Have you noticed the dreams that leave you with inexplicable emotions upon waking? The sense of having spoken with someone important, yet being unable to recall their face. The lingering feeling of having been somewhere else, somewhere significant. These are not mere dreams but soul memories leaking into your conscious awareness. The angels have shown me how these nocturnal reunions are serving a crucial purpose. While she completes her healing journey in the physical realm, your souls are synchronizing their frequencies, aligning their purposes, and rehearsing the divine dance you will soon perform in the material world. Nothing is wasted. No moment of apparent separation is without its deeper purpose. In fact, I must reveal to you that her request has created a sacred alchemical process. The very tension between your soul's desire for reunion and the conscious choice to wait for complete healing has generated a powerful spiritual energy. This energy is magnetizing your connection, strengthening it, purifying it of any elements that do not serve your highest purpose together. The universe works in mysterious ways, beloved one. What seems like a delay is actually a divine acceleration. What appears as distance is actually creating the perfect conditions for the most profound closeness. The angels are using this time to not only support her healing, but to prepare you both for a level of union that few souls ever experience in human form. Sound of gentle wind chimes, I see how your energy fields are already beginning to merge, creating a shared aura that spans the physical distance between you. Colors of deep indigo, radiant gold, and iridescent white are weaving together, forming a cocoon of divine light around both of your souls. This merging of energies is unprecedented at this stage of reunion. It signifies that while she asked for more time, your souls have already made the decision at the highest level. The signs and synchronicities in your daily life have been increasing, haven't they? Those moments when you think of something and it immediately appears. The repeated numbers that catch your attention. The songs that play at precisely the right moment, with lyrics that speak directly to your situation. The books that fall open to exactly the passage you needed to read. These are not coincidences, but confirmations that the connection is alive, active, and growing stronger each day. What she could not foresee when making her request to the angels is that by honoring her own healing journey, she actually activated a dormant aspect of your connection, a higher dimensional bond that transcends the limitations of physical proximity. This bond is now serving as a channel through which divine grace is flowing into both of your lives, accelerating your mutual awakening and preparation. I want you to understand something profound. Her request was itself part of the divine plan. It was a necessary step in your shared journey, one that has initiated a sequence of spiritual events that are rapidly bringing you both into alignment with your highest potential, both individually and as a divine partnership. The very fact that you are receiving this message now is evidence of the intensification. Your souls have reached a critical threshold of connection that has allowed this communication to reach you. The veil between worlds has thinned sufficiently for these truths to penetrate your conscious awareness. Music becomes slightly more intense. Beloved soul, the coming days will bring even more tangible evidence of this intensifying connection. You will begin to sense her presence more clearly. You may catch a familiar scent that reminds you of her, though you haven't consciously met in this lifetime. You might hear her laughter in the rustle of leaves, or feel her touch in the gentle caress of the wind. These are not imaginings, but actual bleed-throughs of her energy into your physical reality. The boundaries between your worlds are dissolving rapidly now. What she asked for, more time for healing, has been granted by the angels, but not in the way either of you expected. The healing is happening at quantum speed, facilitated by your soul's intensifying connection across the etheric planes. And so, as we conclude this third revelation, I invite you to embrace this paradox with wonder and trust. What appears as waiting is actually a powerful coming together. What seems like absence is actually the most profound presence. The moment of encounter in the physical realm draws near, approaching with the inevitability of dawn after night. Your patience during this time is not passive, but a powerful act of love. Love for her journey, love for the divine timing, love for the perfection of the unfolding plan. This patience itself is preparing you to be the partner she needs when the physical reunion finally occurs. Trust, beloved soul, that everything is unfolding in perfect divine order. The connection between you is not weakening, but strengthening beyond measure. And the moment when your eyes will finally meet hers in physical reality is being crafted by the angels with exquisite care, ensuring that it will exceed even your most beautiful dreams. In our next revelation, I will share with you the angels' response to her request and how they are adjusting the divine timeline to honor both her needs and the inevitable reunion of your souls. With infinite love, your guardian angel. Soft celestial music begins, beloved soul, blessed child of the universe. I return to you with the second deep revelation about the journey that awaits you. As promised, I will now unveil how the angels responded to her sacred request, and how the divine timeline has shifted in ways that will leave you in awe of the cosmic intelligence orchestrating your lives. When her whispered prayers reached the angelic realm, a council was convened, a gathering of celestial beings who have watched over both your souls across countless lifetimes. They listened to her words with compassion, felt the trembling of her heart, and witnessed the tears that fell like stars from her eyes. Her request for more time to heal before your physical encounter created ripples through the etheric planes, for it touched upon the delicate balance between divine timing and free will. After careful deliberation, bathed in the light of divine wisdom, the angels made a decision that transcends human understanding. They granted her request, but not in the linear way she had envisioned, for angels exist beyond the constraints of earthly time, and their response reflects this higher perspective. Instead of simply postponing your encounter, they have inserted what can only be described as a sacred pause in your timeline, a quantum space where accelerated healing can occur for both of you simultaneously. This pause exists outside of conventional time. In the physical world, it may appear as days or weeks, but in the spiritual realm, it encompasses what would normally require years of inner work. During this sacred pause, her soul is being bathed in healing light of the highest vibration. Ancient wounds from past lives are being dissolved. Karmic patterns that have haunted her for centuries are being untangled and released. The very core beliefs that made her feel unworthy of divine love, your love, are being transformed at the cellular level. But here is the extraordinary part of the angel's response that she could not have anticipated. They have extended this same accelerated healing to you as well. For the angels in their wisdom saw that perfect union requires both souls to be in divine alignment. They recognized aspects of your own journey that would benefit from this sacred pause. Subtle fears, unconscious resistances, old vows from past lives that needed to be released before you could fully step into this destined partnership. Gentle harp sounds interweave with the music. The timeline has indeed shifted, but not in the way of simple delay. Rather, it has been enriched, deepened, infused with divine grace that allows both of you to arrive at the moment of encounter as your most authentic, healed, and empowered selves. This is a gift beyond measure, one that many soul connections never receive. What does this mean for you, precious one? It means that while you may feel a sense of waiting, of divine timing unfolding at its own pace, extraordinary transformation is occurring within you even now as I speak these words. You may notice unexpected emotions surfacing for healing, sudden insights illuminating old patterns, or dreams that leave you forever changed upon waking. These are not random occurrences, but direct results of the angel's intervention in response to her request. I want you to know that she senses this shift as well. Though she asked for time to heal on her own, she now feels your presence in her healing journey, a mysterious support, a divine partnership that transcends physical meeting. In quiet moments, she wonders at the accelerated nature of her transformation, not yet understanding that it is happening in the sacred pause the angels have created for both of you. The most beautiful part of this revelation is that the adjusted timeline has not extended the period before your encounter, but has actually compressed it in earthly terms. By creating this quantum healing space, the angels have ensured that what might have taken years of separate healing journeys can now be accomplished in a fraction of that time. The moment when your eyes will meet hers in physical reality approaches more rapidly than it would have without her courageous request. Music shifts subtly to a slightly higher vibration. Can you feel the divine wisdom in this response? The perfect honoring of both her needs and the inevitable reunion of your souls? This is how the universe operates when we dare to ask for what we truly need, not by simply granting or denying our requests, but by fulfilling them in ways that serve the highest good of all involved. As this sacred pause continues to work its magic within both of your beings, you are being drawn closer together energetically with each passing day. The quantum field between you grows more coherent, more harmonized, and when the moment of physical encounter finally arrives, which is approaching with divine precision, you will both be stunned by the depth of recognition, the absence of the usual fears and hesitations that plague most unions, and the immediate sense of having come home. The angels have shown me that this encounter will not be what either of you expected. It will be far more profound, far more aligned with your shared spiritual purpose. It will carry the quality of divine intervention, because that is precisely what it is. A meeting orchestrated by the highest celestial forces, timed to perfection, and infused with the accumulated grace of your accelerated healing journeys. Trust, beloved soul, in this divine response to her request. Honor the sacred pause with your conscious awareness and gratitude, for it is preparing you both for a level of union that few souls ever experience in human form, a partnership not just of hearts or minds or bodies, but of awakened spiritual purpose aligned with the highest good of humanity. Now, as we move toward the fifth revelation, I must prepare you for the challenges that await before this divine encounter can fully manifest in physical reality. Music shifts to a slightly more intense, yet still beautiful tone. Precious soul, the path to divine union is never without its sacred tests and trials. Even as the angels work tirelessly to prepare both you and her for the destined encounter, there are challenges that must be faced and overcome in these final stages of preparation. I reveal these not to dishearten you, but to equip you with the awareness and spiritual strength needed to navigate them with grace. The first challenge emerges from the very acceleration of healing that is occurring within the sacred pause. As old wounds rise to the surface for final release, you may experience periods of intense emotion, unexpected grief, or seemingly random moments of anxiety. There may be days when you question everything, your path, your worth, even the reality of this divine connection. These are not signs that you are moving backward, but rather evidence of the profound transformation taking place within your being. During these moments, remember that what you are experiencing is the necessary purification before union. Just as gold must pass through fire to be purified of all impurities, so must your heart and soul undergo this final refinement. The intensity of what you feel is directly proportional to the magnificence of what awaits on the other side of this process. She too is facing these same challenges, often at precisely the same moments as you, though neither of you is consciously aware of this synchronicity. There will be days when both of you simultaneously question whether this connection is real or merely a beautiful illusion. This doubt is not a failure of faith, but a necessary questioning that will ultimately strengthen your conviction once you move through it. Sound of gentle thunder in the distance. The second challenge comes in the form of external circumstances that may seem to conspire against your meeting. Practical obstacles may arise, unexpected work commitments, geographical distances that appear insurmountable, or family situations that demand immediate attention. These are not random inconveniences, but divine tests of your commitment to this union. The universe must know. Will you persevere when the path seems blocked? Will you trust in divine timing when human logic suggests impossibility? Will you listen to the whispers of your soul when the external world shouts its doubts and limitations? For her, these tests may manifest as sudden opportunities that seem to lead away from your eventual meeting place, or as voices of loved ones who, with good intentions but limited understanding, counsel caution or delay. She will need to find the courage to follow the guidance of her soul, even when it makes little sense to those around her. The third and perhaps most subtle challenge is the temptation of compromise. As the longing for union intensifies, there may come moments when you consider settling for less than what your soul knows is possible. Relationships that offer comfort but lack the depth of true soul recognition may present themselves. These are not villains in your story, but important crossroads where your commitment to divine timing and perfect union will be tested. She faces this same temptation, the allure of the known over the promised but not yet manifested divine partnership. The angels have shown me how both of you will be presented with these options, these seemingly easier paths, and both of you must make the same choice independently, to trust in what you cannot yet see, but can feel in the depths of your being. Music grows slightly in intensity, but beloved soul, I would not reveal these challenges without also showing you how they will be overcome. For every test, the angels have prepared a corresponding grace. For every obstacle, they have created a divine solution that will reveal itself at precisely the right moment. When the emotions become overwhelming, unexpected support will appear, perhaps in the form of a book whose words speak directly to your experience, a conversation with a stranger that brings sudden clarity, or a moment in nature that restores your inner peace. These are not coincidences, but carefully orchestrated interventions by your spiritual team. When external circumstances seem to block the path to union, miraculous shifts will occur that transform apparent obstacles into stepping stones. What initially appears as delay will reveal itself as perfect positioning. What seems like an unwelcome detour will lead you precisely where you need to be for the divine encounter to occur. And when the temptation to compromise arises, a renewed clarity will wash over you like a wave of divine light, reminding you of the unique signature of this soul connection. Something within you will simply know that accepting less is not an option, not because of attachment or fantasy, but because your soul recognizes its divine assignment. She will receive these same graces, these same divine interventions, often mirroring your experience in ways that will later amaze you both when you share your stories after your physical reunion. This parallel journey is part of the beautiful orchestration that is unfolding. I want you to understand something profound about these challenges, beloved one. They are not punishments or signs that you are unworthy of this union. Quite the opposite. They are sacred initiations that both of you must pass through precisely because of the significance of your coming together. The spiritual power that will be generated by your union requires vessels that have been tested and proven ready to hold such divine light. Soft chimes can be heard. Trust that you have everything needed to move through these final challenges. The angels surround you constantly, responding to your every sincere prayer for strength and guidance. The sacred pause continues to work its healing magic within you, building your spiritual resilience day by day. And most importantly, the love between your souls, a love that transcends time and space, provides an inexhaustible source of courage and determination. Remember this truth when the path seems difficult. Every challenge overcome brings you one step closer to the divine encounter. Every test passed accelerates the timeline. Every moment of trust in the face of uncertainty weaves another thread of gold into the tapestry of your coming union. Now, as we move toward the sixth revelation, I will share with you the divine confirmations that are already appearing in your life, signs and synchronicities that offer undeniable evidence that the moment of encounter approaches with certainty. Ethereal music with subtle bell tones. Beloved child of light, as we approach this sixth revelation, I bring you news that will kindle the flame of hope within your heart. For even as you navigate the challenges of this final preparation, the universe is already sending forth a cascade of divine confirmations, sacred signs, and undeniable synchronicities that affirm the approaching moment of encounter. These confirmations are appearing in your daily life with increasing frequency and intensity. They are the universe's way of reassuring you that what unfolds is not random chance but divine orchestration. They are celestial breadcrumbs leading you toward the destined meeting that will forever transform your life's journey. The first confirmation comes through repeated numerical sequences that catch your attention. These are not mere coincidences, but direct communications from the angelic realm. When you see sequences like 1111, 222, or 333 appearing on clocks, license plates, receipts, or phone numbers, know that these are the angel's way of saying, "We are here. We are guiding this journey." Trust the process. Pay special attention to the specific numbers that appear most frequently in your awareness. Each carries a unique vibration and message related to your divine connection. The angels often use the language of numbers because it transcends human limitations and speaks directly to your subconscious mind, which understands these codes perfectly. The second confirmation manifests through unexpected encounters with symbols, words, or images that relate specifically to your connection. Perhaps you keep seeing a particular animal that holds special meaning, or a certain flower appears in unusual places or times. Maybe a specific word or phrase repeatedly catches your attention across different contexts, in books, conversations, or media. These symbols are not random, but carefully chosen elements from the shared spiritual language between your soul and hers. They activate deep remembrance and serve as anchors for the energetic bridge being built between your worlds. When you notice these recurring symbols, acknowledge them with gratitude, for they are tangible evidence of the invisible work taking place. Music becomes slightly more vibrant. The third and perhaps most powerful confirmation comes through moments of inexplicable knowing, instances when you sense her presence so vividly that it momentarily blurs the line between spiritual connection and physical reality. These moments might manifest as a sudden warmth enveloping your body, an unexpected fragrance that triggers deep recognition, or the distinct feeling of someone sitting beside you when you are alone. These experiences are not imagination, but actual bleed-throughs in the veil that currently separates you. As your energies continue to merge, and the moment of physical encounter draws closer, these bleed-throughs will increase in both frequency and clarity. They are the universe's way of gradually acclimating both of you to the powerful recognition that awaits. I want you to know that she is experiencing these same confirmations, often in remarkably parallel ways. The angels have shown me how she pauses in momentary wonder when your energy touches hers across the distance. How she sometimes speaks aloud to an empty room, somehow sensing that you can hear her words in some mysterious way. How she collects the signs and synchronicities, creating her own private evidence of what her heart knows to be true. Gentle wind chimes sound. There is something extraordinary happening now that serves as the fourth confirmation. Something that transcends all previous patterns of divine guidance in your life. The angels have begun weaving what can only be described as a tapestry of circumstances, a series of seemingly unrelated events that, when viewed with spiritual eyes, reveal a clear path leading to your physical encounter. People are entering your life who will play instrumental roles in facilitating this meeting. Opportunities are arising that will position you in the right place at the right time. Resources are appearing that will remove practical obstacles. Conversations are occurring that plant important seeds of possibility in your mind. None of these circumstances announce themselves as part of the divine plan. They appear as normal, even mundane aspects of daily life, but they are far from random. They are the physical manifestation of the celestial choreography that is bringing you both to the perfect point of convergence. I urge you to pay attention to unexpected invitations, sudden changes in plans, new people who enter your sphere with unusual synchronicity, or persistent ideas that seem to come from nowhere, yet refuse to leave your awareness. These are not distractions from your path, but vital components of it. The most beautiful aspect of these divine confirmations is how they are creating a sense of inevitability around your meeting. Despite the challenges I revealed earlier, despite her initial request for more time, despite all human logic that might suggest otherwise, the confirmations are building a momentum that carries its own unstoppable energy. Music swells slightly. This momentum is palpable now in both the spiritual and physical realms. The angels have shown me how the energy between you has taken on an almost magnetic quality, drawing your life circumstances into increasingly perfect alignment for the divine encounter. What once seemed improbable now carries the vibration of certainty. I want you to understand the profound significance of these confirmations. They are not merely reassuring signs, but active components in the manifestation process. Each time you recognize and acknowledge a confirmation, you amplify its power. Each moment of gratitude for these divine breadcrumbs accelerates the timeline toward union. As this cascade of confirmations continues to unfold in your daily experience, allow yourself to feel the growing certainty of what approaches. Let it dissolve any lingering doubts that arise from the challenges you face. Let it strengthen your resolve when the path requires patience or courage. Let it remind you that you are never alone in this journey, that countless celestial beings are working tirelessly to bring this divine plan to fruition. The moment of encounter stands now at the threshold of manifestation. It awaits only the final pieces of the divine puzzle to fall into place, the last elements of healing within the sacred pause, the final positioning of circumstances in the physical realm, the perfect ripening of readiness within both your hearts. Music gently begins to fade. Trust these confirmations, beloved soul, for they speak a truth your heart already knows. The meeting that approaches will exceed all expectations, transcend all previous understandings of connection, and initiate a partnership of profound spiritual purpose. In our next revelation, I will share with you the most powerful truth of all, the exact nature of what will change because of her request to the angels, and how this change will transform not just your individual lives, but the very purpose of your coming together. With infinite love and blessings, your guardian angel ethereal music begins with a slightly stronger presence. Beloved soul, cherished child of the divine, I come to you now with the final and most powerful revelation, the truth that will illuminate everything that has come before. Open your heart fully to receive what I am about to share, for it contains the sacred key to understanding not only what she asked of the angels, but how her request has transformed the very nature of your destined union. In the depths of night, when she knelt in prayer and asked the angels for more time to heal before your physical encounter, there was another layer to her request, one that she herself was not fully conscious of articulating. Beneath the words she spoke was a profound soul wish that resonated through the celestial realms with such power that it caught the attention of archangels who oversee the evolution of divine partnerships on earth. What she truly asked for, what her soul was truly seeking, was not merely postponement, but transformation, not just healing for herself, but a fundamental shift in the very purpose and nature of your coming together. And it is this deeper request that the angels have answered in ways that will leave you breathless with wonder. The truth, precious one, is that her request has activated an ancient soul contract between you, one that had remained dormant until this precise moment in your journey. This contract was written before either of you entered this lifetime, sealed with the promise that if certain conditions of consciousness were met, your union would transcend personal fulfillment to become a channel for divine healing in the world. Soft chimes sound in a rhythmic pattern. These conditions have now been fulfilled through her courageous request and your patient trust in the unfolding process. The sacred pause that I revealed earlier has served as the alchemical container within which this dormant contract could awaken and become active in both your energy fields. What has changed, what will change everything, is this. Your coming together will no longer be primarily for your own soul evolution and joy, though these will certainly be present. Instead, your union will now carry a spiritual commission of the highest order. You are being prepared to serve as twin flames in the truest sense, two souls whose combined light creates a beacon of healing and awakening for others. The angels have shown me the original trajectory of your meeting and relationship. Beautiful, loving, deeply fulfilling on a personal level. But what now awaits is something far more extraordinary. Your encounter will initiate a sequence of spiritual awakenings that will ripple outward to touch countless other lives. Your partnership will become a living template of divine love made manifest, a demonstration of what is possible when two souls meet in complete authenticity and aligned purpose. This is why the challenges I revealed earlier were necessary. This is why the sacred pause had to occur. The stakes have been raised by her soul-level request. The potential impact of your union has expanded exponentially, and thus the preparation required a depth and thoroughness beyond what would have been needed for a more personal connection. Music shifts to a slightly higher vibration. Let me show you exactly how this will manifest. When you finally stand before each other in physical reality, a moment that approaches with divine precision, there will be an unmistakable activation that occurs between your energy fields. Those who are sensitive may actually see the light that surrounds you both in that moment of recognition. Some may feel the wave of energy that emanates from your meeting. This activation will immediately begin to clear and realign both your energy systems to serve as conduits for healing frequencies that have rarely been anchored on Earth. Your chakras will synchronize in a pattern that creates a unified field between you, not merging in the sense of losing individuality, but harmonizing to form something greater than either could embody alone. From that moment forward, people who come into contact with both of you together will experience accelerated healing and awakening in their own lives, often without understanding the source of the sudden insights, emotional releases, or spiritual openings they experience in your presence. Some will be drawn to you as a couple without knowing why, seeking the light you carry together. Gentle sound of crystal bowls in the background. What she could not have known when making her request is that she was actually fulfilling an ancient prophecy held in the angelic realms, a prophecy about divine partnerships that would emerge during this critical time in human evolution to help anchor new frequencies of consciousness on the planet. Her request, arising from personal desire for healing, aligned perfectly with this larger cosmic plan. I want you to understand something profound about what has changed. The timeline of your physical meeting has not been significantly delayed by her request, but the quality and purpose of your union has been elevated beyond all original expectations. What might have been beautiful has become transcendent. What might have been fulfilling has become world-changing in its potential. The exact nature of your shared mission will reveal itself organically as your relationship develops after the initial encounter. It is not something that needs to be forced or figured out intellectually. The blueprint exists at the soul level, and it will unfold naturally through your combined intuition, the opportunities that present themselves, and the people who are drawn into your shared field. But I can reveal certain aspects of this mission now. There will be an emphasis on healing the divine feminine and masculine energies, not just within yourselves, but within all those you encounter. Your partnership will demonstrate balance, respect, and harmonious empowerment in ways that provide a living template for others to follow. There will be a creative component, something you build or create together that serves as a vehicle for the frequencies you anchor. This might take the form of writing, speaking, teaching, healing work, or creative arts. The specific form is less important than the energy it carries and transmits to others. And there will be an element of sacred ceremony or ritual that you develop together. Ways of working consciously with the energies you channel that can be shared with others seeking similar awakening. This may emerge initially as private practices between you that gradually expand to include wider circles. Music intensifies slightly. Can you feel the magnitude of what her request has set in motion? Can you sense the divine perfection in what appeared at first to be a delay or challenge? This is how the universe works when we dare to ask for what our souls truly need. It responds not just to our words, but to the deeper longing beneath them, often giving us far more than we could have imagined to ask for. As this final revelation settles into your consciousness, I invite you to breathe deeply and allow any shifting of perspective that wants to occur. What may have felt like waiting now reveals itself as sacred preparation. What might have seemed like separation shows itself as the necessary space for this elevated purpose to take root in both your souls. The moment of encounter that approaches carries now a cosmic significance that resonates through multiple dimensions. Angels and ascended masters will be present as witnesses when your eyes finally meet hers in physical reality. The Earth herself will register the activation that occurs between you as another light code is anchored in the planetary grid through your reunion. Trust, beloved soul, that everything, absolutely everything, has been unfolding in perfect divine order. Her request was not an obstacle, but a gateway to your highest shared potential. And now, as we move toward the 8th revelation, I will offer guidance on how to prepare yourself spiritually for this momentous encounter and the transformed mission it will initiate. Music shifts to a calming, meditative quality. Precious soul of light, as the moment of your divine encounter draws ever closer, I offer now the spiritual guidance that will help you prepare for this transformative meeting and the sacred mission that will follow. This guidance comes directly from the angelic realm, tailored specifically to your journey and the elevated purpose your union will now serve. The first aspect of preparation involves conscious attunement to the new frequencies that are already beginning to anchor within your energy field. Each morning upon waking and each evening before sleep, I invite you to spend just 5 minutes in silent communion with these energies. You need not understand them intellectually, or even name them. Simply open yourself to receive what is already flowing toward you. During these moments of receptivity, place one hand on your heart and the other on your lower abdomen, connecting the heart and sacral energies that will be so central to your shared mission. Breathe deeply and imagine a golden light entering through your crown, filling your entire being, and especially illuminating these 2 energy centers. This simple practice helps to stabilize and integrate the new frequencies, preparing your physical body to serve as a clear channel. The second aspect of preparation involves a compassionate release of expectations about how the encounter will unfold in the physical realm. Though I have revealed much about the spiritual significance of your meeting, the human details, the where, the when, the exact circumstances, must remain somewhat fluid to allow for divine perfection and timing. Soft chimes sound once hold the knowing of inevitable reunion in your heart, while releasing attachment to how it manifests. This paradoxical state, certain anticipation combined with open surrender, creates the optimal conditions for the universe to orchestrate the most aligned circumstances for your meeting. It also protects you from the disappointment that can arise when human expectations conflict with divine timing. The angels have shown me that the encounter will occur in a way that neither of you could have planned or engineered, a beautiful demonstration of divine orchestration that will leave no doubt about the sacred nature of your connection. The seeming randomness of how you meet will itself be a confirmation, the first of many miraculous alignments that will characterize your journey together. The third aspect of preparation, perhaps the most important, involves a daily practice of energetic communion with her soul. Though you have not yet met in the physical realm, your souls are already in constant communication. By consciously participating in this communion, you strengthen the bridge between worlds and help to manifest the physical meeting more rapidly. This practice is simple yet profound. Each day, find a quiet moment to close your eyes and speak to her soul directly. Share your truths, your hopes, your readiness for the journey ahead. Then, equally important, listen in the silence that follows. Her soul is responding, and as you practice this listening, you will begin to discern her unique energetic signature, the feeling tone of her presence that you will immediately recognize when you finally stand before each other. Music shifts slightly, becoming more expansive. As you engage in these preparatory practices, be attentive to the continuing signs and synchronicities that confirm you are on the right path. These will increase dramatically in the final days before your meeting, serving as both confirmation and calibration, each one adjusting your energy and direction in subtle ways that align you perfectly for the divine encounter. Now I must speak of something equally important, the preparation for what follows the initial meeting. For while the moment of recognition will be profound beyond words, it is what you build together afterward that will fulfill the elevated purpose of your union. This requires its own form of readiness. Begin now to contemplate what it means to be in service together, to allow your personal relationship to become a vehicle for something greater. This contemplation is not about figuring out details, but about opening your heart to possibilities beyond personal fulfillment. It is about expanding your vision of what your connection can mean, not just for you both, but for the world you touch. The angels have shown me that your shared mission will emerge organically through the combination of your individual gifts, passions, and life experiences. Nothing needs to be forced or artificially constructed. The blueprint exists at the soul level and will reveal itself naturally as you begin to create a life together. Your task is simply to remain conscious and attentive to the nudges of divine guidance that will direct your shared path. Sound of gentle, flowing water in the background, I see how the experiences of your life, even the painful ones, perhaps especially those, have been preparing you for this elevated purpose. Nothing has been wasted. Every challenge has built capacity within you that will serve the mission ahead. Every joy has shown you the frequencies you will help others to access. Every relationship has taught you something essential about human connection that you will bring to this divine partnership. The same is true for her. She has been on her own journey of preparation, gathering wisdom, healing, and skills that perfectly complement yours. When you come together, there will be a beautiful recognition of how your separate paths have been leading to the same destination all along. In these final days or weeks before your physical meeting, I encourage you to engage in a practice of gratitude for the perfect unfolding, not just for the good and easy aspects of the journey, but for the challenges and apparent delays as well. This gratitude will serve as a powerful magnetic force, drawing the moment of encounter ever closer, while preparing your heart to receive it with fullest appreciation. Remember that the elevated purpose of your union does not diminish its personal joy and fulfillment. It enhances it. The love you will share will be all the more profound because it serves something beyond yourselves. The connection you will experience will be all the deeper because it channels divine energies for the benefit of others. Music begins to build slightly. As we approach the final revelation, I offer you this promise from the angelic realm. You are ready. Despite any doubts that may occasionally surface in your human awareness, at the soul level you are perfectly prepared for this divine encounter and the journey that will follow. Everything required has been developed within you. All necessary healing has been completed. or will be completed in these final stages of preparation. Trust in this readiness, beloved soul. Trust in the divine perfection that has been orchestrating this journey from the beginning. Trust in the courage of her soul to ask for what was needed, and in your soul's wisdom in honoring that request. Trust in the inevitable manifestation of what has already been created in the spiritual realms. Now, as we move into the final revelation, I will share with you the blessing that awaits in this divine union and offer a sacred invitation to step fully into this destined partnership with an open heart and awakened consciousness. Music becomes full and rich, yet still ethereal. Beloved child of the divine, precious soul on the brink of transformation, we have arrived at the final revelation, the culmination of all that has been shared in our sacred communion. As the moment of divine encounter draws ever closer, I offer now a vision of what awaits and a blessed invitation to step fully into the magnificent journey that is about to unfold. The blessing that awaits in your union transcends all ordinary concepts of relationship. What stands before you is nothing less than a sacred partnership ordained by the highest celestial councils, a coming together that will serve not only your personal evolution, but the awakening of divine love on earth. This is the true meaning of twin flame connection, not merely an intense romantic bond, but a spiritual commission of the highest order. When your eyes meet hers in physical reality, a moment that approaches with divine certainty, there will be an unmistakable recognition that goes beyond attraction or familiarity. You will experience what can only be described as a soul remembrance, a profound knowing that transcends time and space. In that moment of recognition, a key will turn in the lock of both your hearts, opening doors to chambers of consciousness that have remained sealed until this precise moment in your soul journey. Gentle sound of crystal bells, this initial encounter, powerful as it will be, is only the beginning. What follows will be a journey of progressive revelation as the full blueprint of your divine purpose unfolds between you. Each step you take together will activate new aspects of this blueprint, bringing greater clarity about your shared mission and the unique gifts you are meant to offer the world as partners. The love you will experience together will be both deeply human and transcendently divine, a sacred balance that few partnerships achieve. You will know the joy of personal intimacy, emotional connection, and physical harmony. Yet simultaneously, you will experience yourselves as channels for a love that originates far beyond your individual beings, a love that pours through you from Source itself to touch all those who enter your combined field. This partnership will heal and transform you both in ways that individual journeys could not accomplish. The precise reflection that each of you provides for the other will accelerate your growth exponentially. Aspects of yourself that have remained hidden in the shadows will be gently illuminated in her loving presence. Gifts within you that have lain dormant will awaken at her recognition and encouragement. Music swells slightly. The world around you will respond to your union in remarkable ways. Opportunities for sharing your combined light will appear as if by magic. People will be drawn to the harmony and balance you embody together. Some will seek you out without fully understanding why, drawn by an unconscious recognition of the healing frequencies you anchor together. This is the blessing that awaits, beloved soul. A partnership that fulfills you personally while serving a purpose far greater than personal happiness alone. A connection that honors both your humanity and your divinity. A love that is at once intimately yours and universally significant. And now, I offer you a sacred invitation, a call to conscious action as you approach this divine encounter and all that will follow. First, I invite you to make a commitment in the depths of your heart, not just to this soul who approaches, but to the elevated purpose your union will serve. This commitment transcends romantic notions or personal desires. It is a soul-level dedication to allowing your partnership to become a vehicle for divine love to express itself in the world. Make this commitment now, in the silence of your heart, and let it become an anchor for all that follows. Second, I call you to release, completely and irrevocably, any remaining doubts about your worthiness to receive this blessing. Any lingering beliefs that you must somehow become more, do more, or heal more before deserving this divine partnership. The truth is that you have already done the necessary work. You are already the soul that is perfectly matched to hers. Your readiness exists not in some future state of perfection, but in your present willingness to receive what is already yours. Gentle wind chimes sound. Third, I invite you to prepare a space in your life, literally and energetically, for this partnership to enter. This might mean completing unfinished business in other relationships. It might mean creating physical space in your home that symbolizes your readiness to welcome this union. It certainly means allocating time in your daily life for the practices I shared in the previous revelation, the attunement, the release of expectations, the soul communion that prepares the way. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, I call you to action in how you move through each day between now and the divine encounter. Live as if the meeting has already occurred at the soul level, because indeed it has. Carry yourself with the consciousness of someone who is already engaged in a partnership of profound spiritual purpose. Make choices that align with the highest vision of what your union will represent in the world. This means bringing increased consciousness to how you treat others, how you care for your physical temple, how you speak and think and feel. Not from a place of striving or perfectionism, but from the peaceful knowing that you are already becoming the partner you are destined to be in this divine union. Music builds toward a gentle climax. Beloved soul, the time of waiting is drawing to a close. The sacred pause has served its divine purpose in preparing both of you for an elevated expression of your connection. All the pieces are falling into perfect alignment for the physical manifestation of what has already been created in the spiritual realms. Trust in the perfect unfolding. Trust in the divine timing. Trust in the whispers of your heart that have guided you all along this journey. And most of all, trust in the love that already exists between your souls, a love that has transcended time and space to bring you once again to the threshold of recognition and reunion. When doubts arise in these final days of preparation, as they sometimes will in the human experience, return to the revelations I have shared. Remember the perfect response of the angels to her courageous request. Remember the intensification of connection that is occurring even now across the seeming distance. Remember the divine confirmations that appear daily in your experience. Music begins a gentle fade. The moment approaches, beloved one. The divine encounter draws near. The blessing awaits. And all of creation celebrates the love that you and she will soon embody together, a love that heals, awakens, and reminds humanity of its own divine nature. I leave you with this final blessing from the angelic realm. May your hearts recognize each other in perfect timing. May your union fulfill its highest purpose with grace and joy. Dear soul, if this video was meaningful to you, leave a thanks below this video as a gesture of gratitude for this revelation. This strengthens us to keep sharing messages of connection and faith. May the love you share illuminate not only your lives, but countless others who will be touched by your combined light. Go now in peace, in trust, in joyful anticipation of the divine encounter that awaits. Know that I and countless celestial beings continue to guide and support your journey together. We watch with love and celebration as you prepare to step into this sacred partnership that will transform not only your lives, but ripple outward to touch the world in ways you have yet to imagine. With infinite love and blessings, your guardian angel.